Hello everyone, welcome in Mass Effect Legendary Edition. And this video is going to be more like a summary and opinion video about the franchise and these games. And the way I do it is I'm replaying the game and I'm comparing the, let's say, experience with my old thoughts back in the day when I played it. First game I played in 2008-9 maybe. And I remember I was not exactly keen on playing it first because, I don't know, somehow it doesn't look right for me. But my clanmates at the time convinced me to give it a try. And to be honest, they were like spot on because it was a critical hit for me. It's just brilliant. But just going into it, I would say the first big positive thing for me was the character generation sequence as it started with the voices.
Welcome to Alliance Military Database. Classified information requested. Establishing secure connection. Secure connection confirmed.
And the next one is technically the starting video and the way the Normandy is approaching the relay and jumping. So this was spot on for me, so let's start with that and from there we will go on.
He proved himself during the Blitz. Held off enemy forces on the ground until reinforcements arrived.
He's the only reason Elysium is still standing.
We can't question his courage.
Humanity needs a hero, and Shepard's the best we've got.
I'll make the call.
Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence. Commander? We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. Green. Approach run has begun. Hitting the relay in 3, 2, 1.
So this was a very good start in my opinion for the game and the franchise because it gave a very good feeling or vibe as a sci-fi. But going into the game itself and what's good and bad in it, I would say I would start with the bad ones because it's less, and after that it's better to speak about the good parts. And as a first big negative thing in the game, I would say, is the Mako and the way it's controlled. And I remember it was a big thing even back in the day that it was horrible. As it moves itself is okay. But when you need to like move around the elevation, it becomes horrible. Just horrible. So yeah, it's not much more to speak about it, but it's just simply not the nicest aspect of the game. And also the other thing which is not exactly too good is the exploration with the Mako on the planets, which feels a little bit time consuming and time wasting kinda. Because personally I'm never bothered to find all the resources and whatever on the map. I just simply checked everything that was visible on the map and okay, this is a medallion or this is an outpost whatsoever. So the Mako, not really. Next one on the list is the Citadel. But the Citadel itself is a very good concept and very nice place. You can check several locations and it gives you a kind of a vibe how the galactic society works. And you can meet lesser races and the council races also. But the problem comes simply walking around the Citadel, which is again time consuming. And even though getting to know more about the other species and the locations is good, but just going between is painful. The fast transport is not exactly helping all the time because sometimes you have to check locations or quests between the points, so it's a little bit, again, goes back to the walking part. And another funny part, which is, I remember was kinda annoying, is the lift. Simply the lift. Oh my god. For opening closed doors or crates, we had a very simple puzzle, which was like this old game crossing the road with the frog. So nothing crazy, it was very simple and I think very straightforward, so it was not a problem I think for anyone who played the game. The character generation I think was okay. It would be overkill to have more back in the day and even now in my opinion. So I think what you have is completely good. And how you can customize your character during the game is also more detailed than in the other games, so it gives you control over what your character wants to be. I noticed one minor, I think it's maybe a bug, that after leveling up one of the skill and getting a new usable skill, it just somehow stuck and not let you add another point on it, just only after you click somewhere else. So it was a little bit annoying. Not a big deal, but still. The gunfight was okay in the game, I think. It was not also super bad, not super good, it's somewhere between. But what was really annoying in the game is the cover system. Okay, not exactly the cover system itself, but the fact that your character is going into cover automatically if it touches it. And to get out, you kind of need to like pressing the back button and then just making it get away. That was really frustrating. Otherwise, I think the fight itself is fine. You can order your teammates to use specific skills. You can order them where to go. For what you wanted to do, you had all the options technically. So it was not overkill, not underkill, just perfectly what you needed for the game. In the game you have the option to make a team and go on missions with them. And the list is kinda limited in the first game, later it will be expanded. But in the first episode you have Kaidan, who is in my opinion the least interesting one. You have Ashley, she's also okay-ish, but the funny part is, which I completely forgot, is that you can have a romantic option with her in the game, so it was a surprise rediscovery. And if I remember later she will be a bit better character, but I not fully remember now. Later it will be okay after I replay the games. So we have Tali, and we don't know much about her in this game, too much let's say. In the later games she will be a way better character. Here she's, I would say, average. Liara is kind of the same. She's good, but still in the average bracket. And the same goes for Garrus for me. I know he's a very light character, but for me he's nothing extra.
that Saren is allowed to use,
So,
he won't be around to reap the
yeah.
benefits. None of us
But
will.
Vrax is a very
That's a chance
interesting
you should be
one.
willing to take. This is
I
the
really
fate
love
of
his
my entire
voice
people we are
acting.
talking about. If you
And even though we don't know much about Tali, she's also my favorite here because she has some like interesting vibe. So yeah, the characters are showing the potential to be good ones,
They are at Sony,
but there is not enough time in the first game to expand on it. So that's why the later games are important.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
So that's about the game itself, but I think what's mostly more significant for me and for a lot of people was the universe itself, because the way BioWare made the game or built up the game is very brilliant and shows you a very rich universe that's having a lot of option to explore. And other than that, there is a lot of races, for example, in this universe that you can meet and get to know. And also there is a lot of very epic cutscene. And for example, the first one, which was very amazing after the intro, is the first time you fly into the Citadel.
Everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower too. Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transfer. Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
The game has a very good internal library system, I would say, which is more like referred to as codexes, and there you can know a lot of info, a lot. There is info about races, weapons, events, planets, everything. So if you're really interested in the game and want to know, it's a good place to read these entries, technically all of them. And also a little bit of extras when you're exploring a planet before you decide to do whatever with it. There is a short description of the planet which contains planetary informations, temperature, gravity, and so on. So it's very good. As the story develops in the game, you get to know Tali, but also you get to know the race they created, and not much more is known about the gas at this point. But in the next games or next episodes you will find out more about these relations, and it's going to be also a very interesting one. But there are other mysteries in the game as well to discover. And the main story goes around the disappeared ancient race, let's say. Everyone believes made everything. And of course it turns out to be not fully true, kinda. So there is a lot to discover in this game. And there is a lot of very important like dialogue during the game, where you discover these very important pieces to start to understand what the hell is going on. And eventually this leads to the big final, where you have the typical boss fight.
You are not Prothean, but you are not machine either. This eventuality was one of many that was anticipated. This is why we sent our warning through the beacons.
One very epic space fight.
inside the arms!
Alliance ships, move in. Save the Destiny Ascension.
Destiny Ascension, you are all clear. Repeat, you are all clear.
The Citadel's opening. All ships move in. Concentrate on Sovereign.
Sovereign's too strong! We have to pull back!
Its shields are down. Now's our chance. Guard on my flank. We're going in.
So the game is doing what it's doing in a very good way to make you want to know more, and it's very much like you can feel it on the game that it's designed to be the first episode of several games to build up the story. And technically the teammates, the general story and the whole game is like structured like that, and you will get to have this feeling during the gameplay. And also what's I think is very good in this game, thanks to the cutscenes and generally the vibe of the universe itself, is that it feels like you are in a film that you are not watching but rather like shaping the events of it. And to happen that there is some event in the game where you can decide what to do, and it's shaping this game and have some effect on the following games later on as well. So generally that's all about Mass Effect 1, I would say. In my opinion, it's definitely worth to give it a try because it's a very good one, and I think it's a very defining game from that time period, so definitely worth to play it. The Legendary Edition makes a good thing to improve a little bit the graphics, but I think it still looks very good, so no problem with that at all in my side. And yeah, I will start playing the second game, and when I'm finished with it I will start making the video about it as well. Thanks for watching, and let me know what was your favorite moment or thing in the Mass Effect 1 game. Thank you, and see you in the next video.